In this video, we're going to go through some different examples of how to solve linear equations. So the first question that we ask is how to solve 2x plus 5 equal to minus 4. Now normally when we get a question like this, we rewrite the question and then start the process. So our first thing is to look for additions and subtractions. And remember that the purpose of solving an equation is to find out the value of the variable that makes the left-hand side equal to the right-hand side. So we've got to get x eventually on its own, if you like this. So you can see we've got to get rid of the 2 and the plus 5 to get x on its own. How do we do this? Well, start with the additions or subtractions. In this case, we've got an addition, so we subtract 5 from both sides. Always do the same operation to both sides to keep the balance of the equation going. So that leaves us with 2x equal to, now minus 4 minus 5 is minus 9. The operation in here is a times. So the opposite of times or multiplication is to divide. So we're going to divide by 2 so that we cancel those. And once again, we divide both sides by 2 to keep it balanced. Cancel out the 2's. We actually get our x on its own, which remember is what we're looking for. So x is equal to minus 9 over 2, and we'll write that as a mixed number, minus 4.5. Our next example involves solving an equation that has got fractions in it. So we've got a over 2 minus a over 5 equal to minus 7. We've still got to find the value of a, so ultimately we're going to have a equal to something in the end. So we've got to get rid of the 2 and the 5. And the way to do this is to multiply through by a number that 2 can go into and 5 can divide into as well, so that we can cancel them. And the number that does this is 10. So we'll take our a minus 2 and we'll multiply it by 10. And this is the other a over 5. We're going to multiply this by 10 as well. And we have to multiply every term by 10, so this one as well to keep the balance. So let's go through and we'll cancel. 2 into 10 goes 5. 5 times a is 5a. 5 goes into 10 twice. 2 times a is 2a. Maybe we can actually put the 5 there. 2 into 10 goes 5. 5 into 10 goes 2. That gives us our 5a and our 2a. That's equal to 70. We now collect our like terms. So 5a take 2a is 3a, which is equal to 70. And to get a on its own, we're going to have to do the opposite of multiplying. So it's dividing by 3 both sides. And that will give us the value of a equal to 70 divided by 3. Now, 70 divided by 3 is 23 1/3. You can check this with your calculator, but there's our solution for this particular question. Our next equation is slightly different. We've got a fractional part, x over 3, plus a whole number part. But now we've got an x on the right-hand side as well. So it looks a little more complicated, but we're going to work through systematically. The first step is, again, to write out our equation. Now we've got to get rid of this 3, and the way to do it is to multiply through by 3, and each term needs to be multiplied by 3 in order to get this correct. So we can cancel the 3 there, and we have x plus 9. Now 2x times 3 is 6x minus 27. The next thing we need to do is to bring our x's together on the one side, and the way to do this is to subtract 6x, because this is a plus 6x, and we need to do this to both sides as well. Now that will give us x minus 6x, which is minus 5x, plus 9 on this side, and because this is now cancelled out, we've got minus 27 on this side. In the same way, we now need to get rid of the the positive 9 by subtracting 9 from both sides. That will leave us with minus 5x, and minus 27 minus 9 is minus 36. And our final step is to divide both sides by minus 5, and that will give our solution of x, because that cancels out, equal to, now you've got a minus and a minus here, so that's going to become a positive. So we've got 36 over 5. When I change this to a mixed number, I get 7 1/5. Our last equation looks like this. We're asked to solve the tan of 30 degrees equals 45 over h. So in fact what we're asked to do is to find the value of h. Now don't worry if you don't remember how to do trigonometry. That's really not relevant at this stage. We're going to write out the equation again. The tan of 30 degrees is equal to 45 over h, and we need to get this h away from the bottom because we can't do anything with it here. So we're going to multiply both sides of this equation by h. Now that eliminates the denominator and leaves us with 45 on this side, and we're left with h times the tan of 30 on this side, which is just where we want the h to be. Finally, in order to get h on its own, we divide by the tan of 30, cancel those out, and we now have our value for h being 45 over the tan of 30. Now normally we would put this back into our calculator to work it out if we're using trigonometry, but just for this situation you can see how the equation is solved, and then you can go on from there if necessary.